Hello students, let us discuss some important theorems on basis and dimension. First theorem is, any two bases of a finite dimensional vector space have same number of elements or vectors. If we take any two bases of a finite dimensional vector space, those two bases contains equal number of elements or vectors. Let us consider V be a finite dimensional vector space. That means the dimension of the vector space V is n, so that we can assume that its basis has finite number of elements. The basis of vector space V has finite number of elements. That means dimension of V is n. We are taking two bases of V such that first basis elements are alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha n. In the first basis we are considering n number of elements, alpha 1 to alpha n. In the second basis we have taken m number of elements, beta 1, beta 2 up to beta m. We have taken two bases, alpha 1 to alpha n and beta 1 to beta m. What we have to prove is the number of elements in these two bases are equal. That means to prove n equals to m. So we already know one theorem, that means n number of vectors spans V and r number of vectors are linearly independent in a vector space V. We can say that n is always greater than or equal to r. Using that theorem, we write this: if alpha 1 to alpha n spans V, then beta 1 to beta m vectors are linearly independent in V. Then we write n is greater than or equal to m. In the same way, if we consider beta 1 to beta m spans V, then alpha 1 to alpha n set is linearly independent in V. Then we can write m is always greater than or equal to n. That means how many vectors spans V is always greater than or equal to number of linearly independent set. Okay. So since these two are bases, alpha 1 to alpha n and beta 1 to beta m are basis elements, once it can spans V, in the other case it is linearly independent. So that for our known theorem condition, we have taken like this: some alpha 1 to alpha n spans V, then beta 1 to beta m is linearly independent, then we can write n is greater than or equal to m. In the next case, m is greater than or equal to n. Since we have to prove n equals to m, these two conditions are satisfied, means from 1 and 2 we write n equals to m. What is n and m? These are the number of elements in first basis and second basis. So if we are taken two bases of V, vector space V, then their elements are same, that is n equals to m. That is, any two bases of a finite dimensional vector space have same number of elements or vectors. In the second theorem, if a vector space V of dimension n, that means V is a finite dimensional vector space, then any set of n plus 1 vectors of V is linearly dependent. Any set of n plus 1 vectors of V is linearly dependent. No set of n minus 1 vectors spans V. N minus 1 vectors that doesn't spans V. What the second condition means? N minus 1 vectors of the vector space V does not spans V. That means dimension of V is n. Dimension of V is n. Dimension of V is n means what? It has basis elements, n number of elements. Its basis has n number of elements. Basis means it is linearly independent and spans V, right? So exact n number of elements should satisfy the two conditions of basis. That means linearly independent and it spans V. Here if we add one more element to n number of basis elements, that means n plus 1 vectors, then it is linearly dependent. If n vectors are in the basis elements, so if we add one more vector to n number of vectors, it becomes n plus 1 vector. Any set of n plus 1 vector is always linearly dependent. Okay, so no set of n minus 1 vector spans V. That means what? N vector spans V. If we subtract any one vector from n number of basis elements, then it cannot spans V. Okay, this is the meaning of this. Given that dimension of V is n, hence it has basis of n elements, then we have taken n number of elements in a basis of. To prove that, first condition is n plus 1 vectors is linearly dependent. We have to prove that n plus 1 vectors of V is always linearly dependent. So assume that n plus 1 vectors of V is linearly independent. We are assuming n plus 1 vectors are linearly independent. So we know that alpha 1 to alpha n are the basis elements of V. So these elements spans V. We know that by the known theorem, n spanning vectors are always greater than or equal to linearly independent vectors. So here we are considering n plus 1 vectors of V is linearly independent. N vectors spans V. So by known theorem, we can write n is greater than or equal to n plus 1, right? Instead of R, we are having here n plus 1 because we have assumed that n plus 1 vectors of V is linearly independent. So here we wrote n is greater than or equal to n plus 1. But this is not possible, right? So which is contradiction. N should always less than n plus 1, but we are getting here n is greater than or equal to n plus 1, so it is contradiction. So what we have assumed is wrong. That means n plus 1 vector is linearly independent. This is wrong. So any set of n plus 1 vectors of V is always linearly dependent. So to prove the second condition, n minus 1 vectors, no set of n minus 1 vectors spans V. So let us assume that n minus 1 vectors spans V. We are assuming n minus 1 vectors are spans V. We already know that alpha 1 to alpha n is the basis of V, so it is linearly independent. Alpha 1 to alpha n is linearly independent, so that because of it is basis elements. Again, by known theorem, spanning vectors are always greater than or equal to linearly independent vectors. In this case, spanning vectors are n minus 1 and linearly independent vectors are n number of elements. So by the known theorem, we can write n minus 1 is greater than or equal to n. N minus 1 is greater than or equal to n, which is also impossible. That means it gives contradiction. What we have assumed gives the contradiction to the known fact. So we have assumed what we have assumed is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. That means no set of n minus 1 vectors spans V. No set of n minus 1 vectors spans V. That means if we have dimension of V is n, that n number of elements should spans V, and only n number of vectors are linearly independent. No n minus 1 vectors are spans V, and n plus 1 vectors are linearly dependent. In the next theorem, let V be a finite dimensional vector space over the field F, W be any subspace of V. We are going to prove that dimension of W is less than or equal to dimension of V. W is any subspace of V where V is of finite dimension. Then we are going to prove that dimension of W is always less than or equal to dimension of V. Let us take A as the set of m number of alphas as the basis of the subspace W. Subspace W has the basis which contains alpha 1 to alpha m elements. So dimension of W is m. Let B be the set of all elements alpha 1 to alpha m together with beta 1 to beta t be the basis of V. That means we are extending the set A. We are extending the set A which contains alpha 1 to alpha m together with beta 1 to beta t. That means this extending set has become the basis of the vector space V. So dimension of V gives us m plus t. That means m number of alphas plus t number of betas gives the dimension of V. Since dimension of V is nothing but the number of elements present in the basis B, number of elements present in the basis of vector space. We have taken B is the set which is the basis of the vector space V. So dimension of V is m plus t. From 1 and 2 we can write that m is less than or equal to m plus t. So what is m? It is dimension of W, and what is m plus t is it is the dimension of V. So that we have proved dimension of W is always less than or equal to dimension of V, where W is the subspace of a vector space V. Okay, thank you.